Good morning and welcome to Coffee with Alain. Going to be talking about Ashley Rosalinda Pardo today, and she is definitely not a candidate for Mother of the Year. She's been arrested for buying ammo and gear for her middle school son who was planning an active shooter attack. She's actually been charged, and we're going to talk a little bit about this and some thoughts on it. There's a picture of her there if you're watching the video. If you're listening on audio, you can Google Ashley Rosalinda Pardo. You'll find articles about this and her mugshot and so forth. But definitely not a candidate for Mother of the Year. Appreciate everybody joining me. You know, I'm drinking out of my Reflex Protect mug this morning because under the Reflex Protect umbrella, I don't just teach the defensive spray classes. Often I combine those with active shooter response classes, sometimes also the de-escalation and communication classes. If you're ever interested in those courses for your organization, you can contact me through reflexprotect.com. You can find more information about those classes there at that website. Be happy to come and help your organization prepare to prevent these situations, do the Reflex Protect training to give you a tool to help you deal in a non-lethal way with violence, not just active shooters, any kind of violence. The Reflex Protect defensive spray has actually helped many law enforcement officers, security officers, and even nurses and different people, civilians, keep safe from violence. So I can help you with any of that. Go to reflexprotect.com for that. But let's talk about this mother, Ashley, and what she was charged with. She was actually charged for aiding the commission of terrorism. And this was down in San Antonio because she was buying her son ammunition and different gear. And the son displayed all these warning signs of an active killer, you know, stuff that I talk about in my courses, because while I teach people what to do during an actual shooting, you can escape, you can deny access, you can attack back and take the killer out. I mean, those are things you do when bullets are flying. But I always stress the most important thing is if we can prevent these in the first place where no one dies. That's the ideal. And one of the things we can do is be more observant, pay better attention to the warning signs that often go unheeded until after the event, and then people start talking about them, saying, oh yeah, well I knew he did this, I knew he did that. And well, why didn't you say something before the terrible event? Now, we've had parents charged criminally and sued civilly because what their kids have done going and killing others. And we're going to probably see more of that. I talked about it before when parents were charged, that we're going to see more. And here we are. We're seeing a mother charged criminally because she was buying ammunition and gear for her middle school son when all the warning signs were there. I mean, the kid was researching other active killers. That's a big one. Because unless you're like me writing a book about active killers, or you're in the security or law enforcement profession where you're writing books and trying to keep people safe with your job, why are you researching these and learning about them and trying to one-up them? Because we've seen that. That's a pattern. So you got somebody that's a little bit disturbed researching killers. Now, why do I know this kid was disturbed? Well, when he got caught researching some active killers online at school and suspended, he tried to commit suicide and had to go to hospital, get stitches and so forth. I mean, this is an individual that needs some help. It's not normal middle school activities to be researching killing, preparing killing, and then trying to commit suicide. This is someone that needs help, not buy them ammo, buy them gear. And if she supposedly was doing this because he was babysitting and it was his reward for babysitting. But then when he was caught hammering live ammunition with a hammer, another unusual activity, combined with all this other stuff, the stuff he wrote about white supremacy and hate and active killers, you combine all this stuff, and the grandmother is the one who recognized all this stuff and called the police. Thankfully, because if she wouldn't have, innocent people probably would have been killed. So the boy was taken into custody, but then the mother was taken into custody and charged criminally for aiding terrorism, because they can classify these active killers under domestic terrorism. And it's probably a good thing, because maybe it will wake more people up. Again, we need to do more to prevent these. Yes, I want people to have a plan and know what to do in case one happens, but I much rather we prevent them in the first place. And that's recognizing these signs and getting people help rather than buying them more and assisting them. So that's, it happened. I've said we're going to see more and more parents charged with different things because of not proactively doing things to prevent their kids from committing these atrocious crimes, or even enabling them to commit these crimes. We're going to see more of it, and this is just an example of that. Want to say good morning to Thad. Thad said good morning. Appreciate you being here, Thad. Dixon's here and said good morning, and Dixon said, what the F? Does she have her marbles? Seriously. Exactly, Dixon. And it's down in Texas where you're from, Dixon. Not your town, but down in San Antonio. I want to say good morning to Jay and Vicky. They're here and said good morning. Appreciate you guys. So again, there's a picture of her. That's her mugshot. You can Google and find out more about this stuff. But she allegedly dismissed her 13-year-old son's violent drawings and fascination with mass shootings and went on to purchase him alarming items, or what the police have said. They announced her son was a student at Jeremiah Rhodes Middle School in San Antonio. He was arrested and charged with terrorism. Not been identified because he's a juvenile. But he first came to the police attention when he was drawing disturbing violent images of his school and expressed a fascination with mass shootings. 2 of the warning signs that I tell people we got to look for and take some action on, because these are common with many of these killings. And then after that, the police continuously met with him and his family, and offering resources and services. But instead of taking those resources and services, this mother dismissed that and bought him ammunition and so forth and other gear that he was wanting as he's making these plans. And so, yes, so now she has been arrested too. And that's a good thing, because she should have paid attention and got that boy help instead of what she did. Now they're both arrested, and I hope they do get the young man help, but that's just such negligence on her part and such inappropriate parenting. And it's really sad that we got people out there that they don't give a shit about their kids or anybody else, and they just worthless parents and shouldn't have kids. And yeah, I'm judging her because that's just wrong. She should have got that boy help, and then she wouldn't be locked up, and neither would he. Maybe they could have got him help and changed him around. And, he had, when the grandmother found magazines loaded with ammunition, an improvised explosive device made with mortar-style fireworks, a note on the kitchen table with references to mass shootings, terror attacks, white supremacy, and Nazism. So the grandmother is the one who called the police finding this stuff, because that's not normal middle school behavior. And because we have seen such tragic killings of innocent kids. We have to take any of this stuff seriously, and we can't dismiss it. And so I'm glad they arrested her, and I want her to be an example for other parents that if your kids show signs like this, do something and get those kids help before they go and kill innocent kids in a school setting. We need more of the prevention, and all the warning signs, all the red flags were there. And instead of acting responsibly and getting that kid help, she buys him more ammunition and dismisses it. And luckily, the grandmother stepped in before something bad happened and people died. Because then they would have been charged with worse crimes. And being charged with the crimes doesn't bother me, but all those innocent lives would have. So that's what I have to say about that little incident. It just happened this week. They were arrested last Monday. It just boggles my mind that a mother could be so, and not step in and get help for her son, and instead just dismiss it as nothing. Dixon said, thank goodness for the grandma, someone in that family with a lick of sense. Exactly. Without that grandmother, people probably would have died in that middle school there in San Antonio. Jay said, about time. Yep, thanks, Jay. And Greg, commented a sad situation here. Greg, thank you for being here as well. It is sad. It's sad that a young person like that, a middle school age, 13-year-old kid, instead of playing and having fun, is thinking about killing others and actually planning it and amassing the stuff to do it. It's sad that a mother ignores that and is aiding him. There's nothing good about this except for it was stopped before innocent people died. That's the only good thing, is it was stopped before kids were killed at that middle school. And we need more of that. And if it takes a mother being charged criminally for aiding terrorism to make other people listen a little bit and pay better attention, good, because that's what we need. I'm available to help people with this type of situation to be better prepared. My book, Survive a Shooting, available on Amazon. It's almost 300 and some pages worth. It's a big textbook on what you need to know about these situations before, during, and after to save lives. I can help you with the courses. You can find out more at reflexprotect.com. Got the active shooter courses, got the defensive spray courses. You can combine those for your organization. Many organizations do, just to be better prepared, not just for active shooters, but any type of workplace violence. So you can find out more about that there. You can also get on my newsletter at enjoylifesafely.com. More information on staying safe and defending yourself every week in that newsletter. You can get it by downloading the book, How to Stay Safe in This Crazy World, which also provides information on staying safe. I want to say good morning to Robert. Robert's here. Good morning, Ellen, Thad, and Dixon, Jay, and Greg. So Robert said hello to everybody. I appreciate that, Robert. Thank you for joining us this morning. Everybody, go out, make it a fantastic Friday. We'll see you tomorrow talking about a few books on Book Saturday.